Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fantasy Football Fix YouTube channel, and FPL Phillips is bringing you our latest price changes stream for the third time this week, so I apologise if you're sick of seeing me. Unfortunately you will have to deal with me for another night of the week, but yeah, hopefully you appreciate it. We're coming for you with another stream. I know there's a bit of football on tonight, but the West Ham game I think is currently sat at half time, so it seemed like an ideal time to go. I'm not sure how many people are watching that anyway. I've not been watching the game, but yeah, let us know how players have looked. As I try, no, Benrahma's been rested and Antonio's already bagged a goal, which is interesting. But the main topic and talking point I really thought for tonight was, as you saw with the title and thumbnail, Trent Alexander-Arnold looks set to rise in price, and he's actually quite comfortably inside the 100% progress threshold at 107.3%, as you can see on screen. At the top there, nicely start as well, and his progress per hour at 1.1%, which seems quite high. I'm actually quite surprised that not that many people, well, not everyone already has Trent in their team. It seems odd that a lot of people have chosen to go without him. I don't know whether that's casuals going without him due to price. I don't know whether that's people going with him because they think they can get away with it and have value elsewhere to get premiums in, such as Lukaku, Ronaldo, Salah. They're now realising that Trent is pretty much almost as essential as you can get, if you call anyone essential in FPL. But yeah, I'm interested to see what you guys' thoughts on that. I'm not sure if he is going to rise from 100% certainty, but it looks promising, and up to 7.6. I was looking and researching what the most expensive defender has ever been in FPL, and as far as I can tell, I think Leighton Baines holds the record for 8.1 million, which is interesting. So yeah, does anyone know any defender who got more expensive than that? I think Baines definitely passed the 8 million threshold one year. But yeah, the defenders on the whole, it used to be quite expensive back in the day. It wasn't uncommon for a defender to be over 7 million, but Trent is certainly up there and could potentially one day, or maybe even this season if we're lucky, pass that threshold. But he's already at 35% ownership. You never know, he could always get to over 50. Luke Shaw was there before the season had even started. But yeah, other than that, we've got a few other noticeable price changes. St. Maximan again looks set to rise. Duffy, Sanchez, who were there yesterday as well, but didn't manage to grab a rise last night. And then Danny Ings has recently fallen into the tonight, looking likely for a drop. This is obviously a bit less certain. He's only at 97% progress right now, but he's dropping at 0.4% per hour. I wouldn't be too sure that he's going to drop in price tonight, so I'd probably ride my luck there and maybe just wait it out if you're looking to make the move across to Bamford. But yeah, if I had Ings, I would probably maybe be holding him this week anyway against Everton, who can't seem to keep a clean sheet to save their lives. Tony is still there, and I'm really hoping Tony can hold out for one more night. He's just at the bottom of your screen there. And in fact, let's put the watch list on, because it's only the really noticeable players that we want to be looking at anyway. But yeah, Tony is still there, down at the bottom of your screens. Hopefully he can hold out for one more night before dropping to 6.3, so I can transfer him out for Bamford tomorrow and save that 0.1 million extra. But, you know, I may well do that move tonight. It always seems like a new move. However, I think I will try and hold off. I will try and hold off. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on that as well. I never get sick of seeing you on my screen, Eddie. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate you being here once again. As Matty, saw your comment on my video earlier. Thank you very much, Matty. You watched the whole of that, I know, because it was a special little easy and basic YouTube trick that I did with just saying something at the end of the video. I mean, everyone could now go and skip and comment that, but but yeah, not having Trent from the start is new behaviour. Like, yeah, I think you'd have to. It was quite a risky move, and it turns out not to have paid off. But maybe in another parallel universe, Trent is blanked every game week so far this season. I'm on 314 points. It's Jamie. Well, congratulations if you're pleased with that. I'm not sure what my total points even is. You know what? Let's go and refresh my mind. I don't actually know what I'm on. I'm on 321, so I'm not doing too shabby. But yeah, 314 is a very respectable score. 50 people watching, that's absolutely crazy. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in. If you are enjoying and excited for the stream, do consider smashing a like. We always seem to have a lot of people in, but we never seem to be able to get that many likes on a stream. So I'm hoping we can get the Fantasy Football Fix army and the FPL Phillips army who've come over from my channel to become an ultimate force in the like machine. It really does help out the channel. And if you enjoy us bringing these streams every day, yeah, let us know if you're enjoying it, and if you are enjoying the fact that we're streaming instead of perhaps bringing the pre-recorded videos. Let us know with a like as well. It does let us know, and we are trying to get a feel for whether streams are the way to go forward, or do we want to revert back to kind of pre-recorded videos. But yeah, obviously answering questions live is only doable through a stream. Bruno for KDB, or should I just wait for 3 more game weeks? Bringing in KDB early, so yeah, it's a very, very difficult one to say there. Bruno obviously still isn't a bad pick at all. Bruno, as we saw last week, will still continue to score points, even with Ronaldo in the team. KDB has Southampton this week. Will he start? It's not 100% sure, so I probably wouldn't go for that move. Vardy or Ronaldo, because I feel I could get away with Vardy. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing a lot about Vardy. I wouldn't be going for Vardy. The title, lol, hope the value doesn't crash like Bitcoin. Yeah, it was a bit of a play on crypto and whatnot. Saar versus Traore, the debate that's still happening, the battle of the blankers, so to speak, at this point, really. I'd go for Saar with that Norwich fixture if I was bringing in one this week. Best Benrahma replacement below 6.2, I'd probably, again, say Saar this week. Hi, I love this app, but can give you a headache lol when trying to keep up with it all. There's a lot of features on the website, especially. The app is a bit more simple, I find. You know, it's really easy to just check all the price changes on the app. I find that's the best feature that I use the most when I'm going around on my phone during the day and I want to keep on track with FPL, like the Sado I am. So yeah, I go and use the price change feature a lot, and I tend to use most of the other features on my computer because I'm sat down at my desk quite a few hours a day as well. Will the likelihood of Torres starting as a striker for Man City when Foden and KDB come back? Well, you'd have to say that it's less, Jack. What is the likelihood is going to be hard to say. I can't exactly put a number on it or percentage. However, you know, there's splitting opinions on this, and it's very hard to always predict what Pep is going to do. I personally don't see too much of KDB and Gundogan playing as a false 9, but now that I'm saying that, it'll probably always be a false 9 with KDB or Gundogan playing there. They've both been known to be deployed. Mahrez can play striker. Sterling can play striker. Jesus can still play striker. Torres is under threat. You know, it's obviously maybe a risk worth taking, but again, with early substitutions, that Southampton game, I like the look of. I'll be keeping him, obviously, but the reason I brought Torres in when I did was because I still have my wild card. I may well want to get him out by that point, so bringing him in now, I think, you know, there are definitely safer picks. KDB no longer an option for me. Pep Roulette not on pens, seems to always be injured. Well, KDB, is he on pens? Because obviously Mahrez took one in the Champions League, right? But Mahrez is very out of favour in the Prem. So the odds are that KDB will be the one on the pitch and Mahrez won't be on the pitch a lot of the time. So in that case, is KDB on pens or is Gundogan on pens? I think it's Gundogan, no? I can never seem to remember. They always seem to flip-flap the Man City penalty taker. But there's not been that many penalties for the big team so far this season, has there? Nothing like last season at the start. Semedo and James or Cancelo and Marçal? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd probably go for Semedo and James just because Cancelo played 90 minutes in the UCL. But it's very tough even with that, to be honest. What do you think of Benrahma's Antonio's fixture after the United game? Fixture or fixtures? Well, we can have a look. We can use the fixture analyzer for that. I think it's always the best tool. And we can search for after the United game, or we'll put game week 5 in there just so we can see it. And then we'll go for up to like game week 11 or so. Attacking difficulty wise, which is what we want to look at with Benrahma and Antonio. So they've got United, Leeds, Brentford, Everton, Tottenham, Villa, Liverpool. Liverpool is the last one. That's game week 11. So game week 11 there. What would I say? I'd say that Leeds and Brentford are probably two nice fixtures. Everton even have looked pretty poor defensively. Tottenham and Liverpool, if Tottenham, you know, can carry on their defensive form from before Crystal Palace, will be a tough defence to go up against. Villa are a relatively okay one, I'd say, but I mean, in terms of statistics, Fantasy Football Fix ranking them 5th lowest in terms of attacking difficulty wise. So yeah, they're not looking as nice as some people are saying, but for a lot of people who are considering a wildcard game week 7 or 8, the Leeds and Brentford fixtures, I don't look too shabby at all. I've Jota, Torres, Greenwood, Benrahma, Salah. Who would you bring Rafinha in for? If yes, for whom? I think Benrahma out of those would be the one to sacrifice, right? But yeah, I think that's probably a transfer worth doing this week if you've got the free available. Walker set to start. Well, if Cancelo doesn't, it probably will be, right? Do you think Jota is worth bringing in off a wild card? Well, with Liverpool, yeah, they've obviously got Palace this week, so you'd have to say are very nice. But, you know, look, they're fourth lowest rather, in terms of attacking difficulty for fixtures. So they've got the fourth hardest fixture, so to speak. Man City, Man United, all in the next 5. Guess that's what's bringing them down. Brentford, you know, they haven't looked too bad defensively. We talk about Brentford, but only, you know, they are a promoted team. Watford, a relatively easy one. You know, after that Crystal Palace game, it's not that nice. Crystal Palace is probably the only thing keeping them higher up at the moment. But would I still bring Jota in? Probably. I would try and do a bit of research on the Firmino injury. I don't think we've really had any updates. Has Klopp said anything? I'm not sure. You don't think Torres will start the next game? Hopefully he does. He's in my team at the moment. -8 for Tony, Ayling out, Marcel Jimenez in. Well, I'm not sure what were your other transfers, Michael. Well, I mean, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, but I would probably just do the Tony to Jimenez move, or maybe it's just not worth it at all. I think Tony and Ayling aren't bad picks for this week. If you can afford to hang on to Tony for one more week and then take him out before that Liverpool game. Ayling's got Newcastle, and I think I would probably play him. You know, Marcel's a great option. There's no denying that. But if you're not, you know, even though he'll be playing at centre back, I think Ayling's a decent shout. And I don't think it's worth a hit to take him out for someone who, you know, could easily score less than Ayling this week if Wolves get a clean sheet wipeout and Marcel does nothing attacking wise and Leeds keep a clean sheet. You're 8 points negative there. As long as I can remember, KDB has been out since he met Rudiger in the UCL final. That's the Rudiger effect. Maybe it is. Who's the better fixtures for a cheap defender enabler out of Williams and Livramento? Okay, interesting. So, I mean, if we look at the two teams just in here, because I suppose it's easier, we'll look at defensive difficulty now. So, Williams and Livramento, Southampton and Norwich. Norwich are slightly better. Southampton are slightly worse. But, obviously, if you look at this rotation, Watford, Wolves, Burnley, and then Brighton or Leeds, Burnley, Watford, Villa or Brentford. They really don't look bad in terms of rotation pairing. If you could have two of them in a 3-back formation, or even two of them and Duffy, the rotation doesn't look too bad there. Even if Duffy's out, you could start Williams or Livramento each week. It doesn't look too shabby at all. I've not really considered that, but they both look pretty nailed on now. Fernandes, Tony to Jota and Bamford. That's my here. I like those moves. Yeah. It doesn't sit completely right with me taking Fernandes out, but I think if you're needing it to get Tony to Bamford, I think it might be worth it. Incoming Bamford blank. Sanchez or Lloris? Sanchez or Lloris is a hard one to compare because obviously they're both different price points, but I mean we'll have a look again whilst we're on this fixture difficulty page. We can look at Spurs' fixtures down there. I just don't think it's worth investing in a premium keeper with a defensive difficulty of those fixtures. If you're going to go for a premium keeper, just get Mendy. Just honestly wait till here and get Mendy in. The run is unbelievable. Even with Tottenham and Man City, they're third. It's worth the extra 0.5. Brighton, where are Brighton sat at the moment? They're pretty far down as well. Man City and Liverpool. So, whilst I'm on a game week 7 or 8 wildcard, I'm hoping I'll probably be ditching Sanchez then. Because City and Liverpool, I might even bite the bullet myself and get Mendy in. Gallagher versus Gray, expected points for the next 5 game weeks. Okay, we can use the player comparison tool to do that. Fix comparison matrix. So, who were the players? Gallagher, Gray. Righto. Starting game week will be 5. Ending game week will be, across the next 5 game weeks. Let's do 5 to 10. Okay, so, yeah, Gray is ahead. Let's have a look. If we go to the next 10 game weeks, how do I... I want to have a look at expected points. Well, Gray is slightly ahead, which you'd probably expect. Reset that now. Righto, hang on, let me just get back to the price changes so people can keep an eye on that. We've got a lot of questions coming in. If you are appreciating me reading all the chat and answering as many as I can, then do appreciate smashing a like on the video. We tried to hit 50 as quick as possible today. That would be smashing, so to speak, if you could smash a like, because the like targets, we're really trying to hit them, and it would be great, and it really does help out the channel, as well as, you know, doing a service to me as a creator if I'm helping the guys over at Fix out with the streams. And I hope that you support and appreciate that we're coming live to you every night. I appreciate that people are like asking for opinions on their teams. It is, with the amount of chats coming in at the moment, I do apologise. It is very hard to kind of get through whole teams and analyse them. I personally have a Discord server where I will go through and rate people's teams, and that's just in any description to any of my videos over on my channel. You can find a link to my channel in the description if you want to go and get your team rated over in that Discord server. So yeah, once again, if you want your team rated, go to the link to my channel in the description. Just go to any random video. The Discord link will be in any video on that channel, and you can get your team rated through there in the Rate My Team channel. Havertz or Grealish? Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, is neither an option, but if I had to go with one, I'd probably say Grealish still. It's quite close. Already planned my next 5 game weeks with my current team, just hoping it pulls off. Yeah, it's always a dangerous game, but I'm fingers crossed for you, mate. What do you think about Pookie? Is he a good option? Well, FPL Raptor did a fantastic video comparing DCL and Antonio replacements, which Pookie is featured in. So I suggest if you want some great info and opinion on that, go ahead and watch that video that was out yesterday. I think it's the one with the purple thumbnail if you're going on the channel. Should I bring in Salah and Lukaku for Bruno and Kane? Ooh, -4 before the price changes? Well, I don't think you're in any risk of any of those guys changing in price, so I'd probably hold off till tomorrow, just for safety. I mean, there's no reason to rush them, but I do like the sound of those moves. I think I would definitely do it quite a lot to bring in Salah this week. Yeah, Notorious Nerd, I would definitely go for that. Decore versus Gray and Pookie versus Dennis. Again, I think Pookie might have been compared to Dennis on that Raptor video, so if you're looking for a comparison, maybe go ahead and look at that. I also compared Decore and Gray over on my channel on last week's Watchlist video, so I was quite early on the hype. Decore versus Gray is very close. I personally find it very hard to split the two of them, but if I had to put an opinion, I would say Gray. When we stream on your channel again, it will be a deadline stream, and we might be joined by a very special guest if I can get it together. And yeah, I'm hoping so. I think it's fair to say the Pookie party ended in 2017. Yeah, it ended quite early into 2017 as well, or whenever that season was. September. Should I make a transfer when my player is going to a lower price, even if I pay -4 points for it? Well, it often depends on who the player you're taking out is and who the player you're bringing in is, really. Sometimes it's worth it, but I wouldn't do it just because your player's going down. That's only 0.1 out of 100 million. It's key to put it into perspective. Yeah, I answered that. I do think that those moves are worth it. Try not to spam questions, because there is a lot of chats coming in at the moment. But I do appreciate the 10 people who have just smashed a like on the video since I last asked. I won't keep going on about it, but yeah, you guys know the button's there if you appreciate it. Werner and Chilwell perspectives? I don't think they're really... Well, Werner's not going to be a viable FPL option. Chilwell is going to be under rotation, isn't he, with Alonso at best, I'd say. So I don't think either of them are ones to go for. A Decore versus Gray points prediction. Yeah, we can do that for you. Using the fixed comparison matrix again. Let's go ahead and add in, who was it, Gray. Decore. So Decore actually tops the predicted points. Interesting. We'll stick Gallagher back in there again. And you know what? We'll put Ben Rama. We'll put Sarr. So Sarr leads the way. That's interesting. I find that interesting. Werner doesn't seem to start. Yeah, exactly. Thoughts on Ferran Torres? In my team at the moment, I wouldn't be rushing to bring him in especially for this 1 week, really. Could very well, you know, suffer a lot more due to Pep rotation with Foden and KDB returning, basically. I mean, out of those two selections, I would probably next 5 weeks. So you get 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's very hard to not say the first trio rather, because Lukaku with those 3 brilliant fixtures. I'd probably say that, to be honest. Even you've got to get Pookie in. Jimenez was on form, maybe I'd say different. You know, Jimenez and Bamford really aren't on cracking form, but people are just taking the risk that their fixtures will breed form. Semedo or Marcel? I think Semedo if you could afford him. Varane and Benrahma out for Trent and Murphy. Thoughts? Murphy? Who's Murphy? Which Murphy? Do you mean Jacob Murphy? 5 million midfielder? I just wouldn't even bother. I'd probably just go to 4.5. I really don't think Murphy's worth it. I would try my best to get Trent in. Whether that's worth it for Varane this week, I think it probably is. Benrahma out to Murphy. I'd probably just, if you're benching Murphy anyway, just go to a 4.5. Thoughts on mini wildcards? Roll first week, then take a -4. So you get 3 transfers. Yeah, I'm just worried I've had to wildcard early. I don't mind a mini wildcard. I did one last week, so yeah. Who are the top 3 Chelsea assets? Mine would be Lukaku, then Reece James, and then Mendy, probably in that order. Maybe Rudiger over Mendy. Might finally hit 101 milli if these boys rise. Hey. What would you change about this wildcard? Again, I would just point you to my Discord server. Link is in any video description on my channel. Link to that channel is in the description. Charlie Murphy. I don't even know. Who is Charlie Murphy? Sorry, this is just... it's an actor, right? Actress. Not a footballer. I'm not big on my Peaky Blinders or whatever he or she's in. No, it might be a woman. Charlie is a unisex name, isn't it? So a decent option in the next 2 game weeks? I think so. Start on a wildcard, thoughts? Yeah, I like it. Both me and the algorithm selected him in our teams for game week 5. So if you want to check that video out, it came out earlier today at 2 PM. We're up to 41 likes, so only 9 or 50. Do appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much. I saw Antonio and Benrahma for MacArthur on the bench and Lukaku before the price rise. Do you think it was worth it? Yeah, I like it. I think that's worth it. But you know, bear in mind Antonio will be back next week and got a pretty decent fixture. Same with Benrahma, really. What do you think about Mohamed I can't pronounce this name. Elyounoussi? I'm really bad at pronouncing it. If someone could tell me if I'm absolutely butchering the hell out of it, then let me know. But he's one that's really not been talked about a lot. FPL Raptor I've seen has talked about him quite a bit, and he's been in a lot of stats charts, etc. But yeah, I'd like to have a bit more of an in-depth look. So who should we compare him to? Should we compare him to Damari Gray, perhaps? You know, well, not the exact same price, I appreciate, but yeah, interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see. He's played 180 minutes, so obviously we'll look at the stats per 90. But if you look at that, Elyounoussi leading the way. Eddie Murphy's brother. Ah, okay. If you said Eddie Murphy, I would have known who you were talking about. Was just being cheeky. Yeah, I thought so. Any good less than 5 million midfielders? Not really. I'd go for Sissoko, to be honest. So Elyounoussi, I mean, he looks decent. Stats wise, he's rocking it. You know, Damari Grays aren't brilliant, to be honest. He's outperforming he's I suppose overperforming what you'd expect from him. I mean, look, his goals to expected goals ratio is very, you know, he's got almost 4 times his XG in terms of returns. Is Salah the best captain to pick this game week? I think he probably will end up being, yeah. Which team do you support? I'm a Manchester United fan. Watkins was a promising against Chelsea. Would he be a good option after the hard fixtures clear up? I'm not too sold. I'm really not too sold. We can have a look at how Watkins did. Aston Villa. Watkins. Right. Game week 4. Play 90 minutes. 6 shots. So they're not bad positions either. 2 attempted assists. You know, it doesn't look too bad. It isn't too bad. I still think Ings is the best striker to go for if you're going for a Villa one, though. I really like him and Gallagher for Wildcard in game week 8. Yeah, perhaps it's the way to go. I'd be interested to see... Let's go back to the fixture analyzer and have a look at, you know, game week 8 Wildcard. Let's see if we're going up to, I don't know, game week 15 in terms of fixtures. Attacking difficulty. Look at that, Southampton top. There you go. And... Who else was it? Gallagher, Crystal Palace, not far down in 6th. Who would be your prediction about who's likely to haul who hasn't been spoken about much? I mean, it depends when, I suppose. I think... It's a hard one to say. El Yunusi, I mean, could fall into that bracket. Most players who I do think are likely to haul have been spoken about quite a bit. You know, everyone's spoken about one time or another. Let me have a look. Because I've been looking at quite a few players. It depends how much, you know, not being talked about much it is. I think Mason Mount's underrated. I just really hope, you know, by come game week 7, he might be a bit more nailed because he's obviously now falling under Tuchel's rotation, which isn't ideal at all. Thoughts on Robertson? I just don't think it's worth having both of them at the moment, Trent and Robbo, and I think Trent's the one to go for. I've not got anything against Robbo, and he has been a great FPL asset in the past. I just don't think right now is the time to go for him. I think there's better defenders than Robertson, really even like Diaz or Cancelo. Maybe I'd go for over him. Benrahma or Tierney to play this week? I'd start Tierney. I've been Benrahma and Greenwood. Who should I kick out first? Probably say Benrahma. I think Greenwood will be getting quite a bit of game time, at least till Rashford's back. Should I take a hit to bring in Bamford or DCL? For DCL, rather. It was good. It was good that I corrected that. Or wait for next week to bring in Antonio for DCL. Ooh, it's an interesting one. I guess it depends who you're fielding if DCL has to be benched this week, Anish, I suppose. Diaz and Jimenez, 0 million left in the bank, or James and Jimenez, 0.4 million left in the bank. That's frustrating that you're just a bit off Bamford instead of Jimenez on that second pair, aren't you? I personally would have a bit of fun and go with James. Just give you a little bit to play with as well if things don't work out brilliantly somewhere else in your team. 3 defenders under 5.5 or Trent and 2 4.5s. Ooh. 3 defenders under 5.5. I mean, you could get a different balance. You could have 1 4.5, etc. I'd probably go with Trent, Marcel, and Ben White maybe, if you can afford that instead. Because obviously that's a 4.6 and a 4.4 if I'm not mistaken, so you should be able to. Do you recommend not having Bruno and CR7? No, do you recommend having Bruno and CR7? I probably wouldn't have both, but I think they'll get you quite a few points. But you are very reliant on one team doing well. Is the Wolves budget attacker He-Chan going to start games and be a good option? I think again a case of wait and see with that one. I wouldn't really be able to tell you one way or another. You're probably better off speaking to a Wolves fan in regards to that. As far as I know, Jimenez is probably He-Chan is going to be getting games off the bench, and that's as far as I can see it. How can you change your formation in the transfer screen? Which transfer screen? The assistant manager. I mean, if you want to change your formation, you do it in your actual FPL team, and then you can reload your squad. But yeah, this is what my team's looking like at the moment. It will most likely be Bamford in for Tony. It's pretty much locked in, that transfer. Sorry, I'm new. No worries, mate. I'm here to help. Could St. Maximin be a good pick for the next 2 fixtures? I think he's one who is being talked about a bit. I was considering saying him for the player who isn't being talked about that much pick. He's been talked about quite a bit. So yeah, he's a right baller. There's no denying that. It's whether he can transfer that into being a prime FPL asset. Thoughts on captaining Trent? Certainly differential. I'm never a massive fan of captaining Liverpool defenders because Salah, if they've got a good fixture, Salah's always there. So I always find it quite hard, but I'm not totally against it. I would just go Salah instead for sure, just to be safe. I'll be playing Gray in place of DCL, in which case I'd probably wait on it. Marcelo or Tierney? Ooh, I like both. Who is it? If it's in terms of who will I start this week? Oh, that's so tough. I really want to start both. I really want to have both. If I was going to bring in one now, I'd maybe even go Marcel. Just until if Arsenal can start scoring more, then Tierney's a dominant asset, and I'm sure he'll get some attacking returns. I really like the FPL Fix content. Thank you, Fremo. Fresh look, and I like what you were getting back and the tools you can provide us. Great job. Thank you, mate. Thank you. What do you recommend, Cristiano and Romelu, or Lukaku and Ronaldo? I don't know. Too hard to split those. Too hard to split. I like Bruno and Tony to Jota Bamford. I prefer Bamford to Jimenez. Do you think Torres starts? I do, but I'm digging my own grave because I've got him in my team as well, saying it. Will Brownhill's price drop? Interesting one. Yeah, feel free to let us know what players you want checking, because I'm willing to do. It's obviously hard to remember all of them, so I need to go and check. But no, there's no. I just need to remember. I remember now. It's easy to say looking at it, but yeah, a progress per hour only minus 0.3%. So yeah, minus 55% progress. He's not going to drop. Definitely not this game week anyway. Do you know what FPL Raptor's channel is called? FPL Raptor. I don't actually know. I really don't know. Maybe that's his favourite dinosaur. You'll have to ask him. I don't know whether he's in the stream, but yeah. I just never think, because we've got so many names now over on Twitter, especially, there's so many handles, almost every handle's taken. You never really ask people why, but, you know, it kind of does seem like one of those that might have an actual reason behind it. Burnley will score for sure? Should I bring in Trent, or should I bring in a 5.5 million midfielder? I would bring in Trent. Do you think Rafinha will get a return against Newcastle? I do. Are wildcarding and the free hit basically the same thing? No. Well, they've got similar components in that they allow you to make unlimited transfers for one game week. However, the free hit, after that 1 week where you've brought in everyone, your team goes back to the way it was before. So you only get 1 week of your team changing, entirely, and then it goes back to what you had the week before. A wildcard is all those changes, unlimited changes, but it's permanent, so your team stays like that afterwards. You don't get any of your old players back the week after. Best 6.4 or less mid to replace Benrahma? Oof, put one off Rafinha. I'd probably say Sarr. Should I bring in Trent? I answered that one. Trent. Benrahma to Gray or Sarr? Again, I'd probably say Sarr. I named my channel FPL Raptor because I'm a Toronto Raptors fan. I think it's a cool name. A cool name? A cool name. I really like it, and I really like the logo as well. Yeah, it's definitely cool. I'm just boring and did it with my own surname. I'm one of those people who's... We had quite a few Eddies at my school where I went, so I often got called Phillips by a lot of people, and I get called Phillips by quite a lot of people on YouTube as well. Or Philip, people call me Philip all the time. I didn't realise there was going to be that much confusion about it, but most people are getting the idea that my name isn't actually Philip, now it's Eddie. I don't think I've ever met someone under the age of about 20 called Philip. Probably older than 20. He's probably about 40. I just don't want to be rude to any Phillips watching. Trent and Sarr or Shaw and Grealish? Trent and Sarr. The Sissoko gives returns. He's probably got the best chance of any 4.5, I'd say. Salah over Ronaldo for captain for me, Anish. Mega ball with Sanchez. Are there any other goalkeepers, no premiums you would consider? Is there a comparison tool to show us? Well, if you want to just look at the predicted stats, there definitely is. The fixed comparison matrix is the one for you. We can have a look. So I'd say we could probably add in, well, we'll add in Sanchez just to start. And then we'll add in Ramsdale, I think, is one that could be fun. Interesting, his predicted point 6.5. That's not very good. That'll be able to do with his starting potential, I assume. Raya, another 4.5. Gaeta. How do you spell Gaeta? There you go. My bad. And then finally, I'll put one in who's a bit more premium, I suppose. Jose Sarr. Look, he leads the way by quite a bit. 21.1. I would go for him if you could afford the 0.5 extra. If I've answered your question, guys, please don't re-ask it. I don't want to have to, call out repeating. But yeah, if you could just not do it, that would be ideal. Go Buckhead. Thank you, Alex. Semedo, Marcel, again, Semedo. Williams also so go for Game Week 5. I'd probably start Williams. Felipe. That's a new one. Who do you think will do better, Aubameyang or Vardy? Probably Vardy. What website is that? It's the fantasyfootballfix.com. Links to all this stuff is in the description. There's 6 Jacks in my class. Mad. Yeah, we only had 3. We had 3 Eddies for a while and then 2 eventually. When's Conor Gallagher's price will rise? Oh, good question. Let's have a look. Not tonight, but yeah, he's currently only at 31% progress. Obviously, the progress gets reset. He rose to 5.6 not too long ago, and so he's quite some way off. Short on Grealish, to be honest. Grealish is so underpriced. Well, yeah, I suppose the minutes issue is the main thing with Foden and KDB returning. Gallagher, Gray, or Benrahma? I think I prefer Gray just about. Gallagher when the fixtures get better. But yeah, I think Benrahma might almost be done. People are going to be hopping off. 100 people watching. Make sure to drop a like if you appreciate Eddie screaming and answering all of your questions. Thank you, Ross. I do appreciate you doing the plug in there. But yeah, it's boring when I do it. I just prefer answering questions. If you guys if you enjoy it and you appreciate it, you can like on your own. You can choose to make the decision to like. I don't need to be one of the people who just continually tell you to. Yeah, yeah. Appreciate Ross doing that, so I don't have to do it and seem all beggy, I suppose. Could you add Sarr as well? Yeah, I did add Sarr, and Sarr was the predicted best one. My formation doesn't change when I change my formation when I pick my team and save it. Sorry to be a pain. Well, you have to do the substitutions. I assume you know what you mean, Jamie. If you're doing that in the actual FPL on the Fantasy Premier League website, you just need to do that and then press. You just need to make the substitutions so you're in the correct formation and then press save. It should be at the bottom. We're getting a lot of questions, so I appreciate. I'm sorry if I do miss any. I will try to get through them all. Let me just sell Grealish to you. Nearly nailed. 8 million, best attacking team, great player. Nearly nailed. I'm not sure how that will. Again, maybe it will still be nailed with KDB and Foden returning, in which case he might be the best. But yeah, you got like 1 return and a 5-0 win. It's not brilliant. In a bit of trouble, could you please do a comparison for Sissoko and Jacob Murphy, please? Oh, I mean, I can do that, but I'll just tell you now, I prefer Sissoko by a lot. Let's do it quickly. I don't know. I mean, they got the same, and Sissoko's 0.5 million cheaper. Hope that sells it, really. Tony Fernandez, Antonio Price. No. Yeah, Tony. So Tony's the only one anywhere near a price move, really. I think Antonio might be the one who's dropping tomorrow, actually. So yeah, tomorrow, Tony tonight, maybe. Fernandez isn't near, as far as I'm concerned. Why is Semedo better? Just her underlying stats do look marginally better. He's just underperforming them at the moment in comparison to Marcel. Should you have both Sarr and Semedo? I'm definitely not opposed to that at all. Keep Benrahma, take a -4 to Sarr Gray. I'd probably keep Benrahma, to be honest. Throw Mendy in as well. Well, he's a premium, so the guy didn't ask about premiums, but I'm sure Mendy will have quite a substantial points ahead of the rest of those keepers. Shaw, Cresswell, Shaw for me. Sarr, Gray for the next 2. Sarr, damn, there's a huge delay in it. In what, the stream? I'm quite behind on the chat, apologies. We're nearly at 50 likes, that's amazing. Thank you everyone who's tuning in. How far away from the Bamford for the price rise? I think he'll be tomorrow. He was in the watch list. I just couldn't be asked to find him, so I had to type. Yeah, tomorrow, maybe. Yeah, they're not always 100% accurate. It's key to remember that. Dude, we survived the Tony drop for another day. Hopefully one more. That's all we need. Can we get a sue? That was a really bad one, but yeah. I don't know how long it's going to be before that gets cringe with the United fans. Is a 4-5-1 a good formation this week? Well, the algorithm 11 went with a 4-5-1, interestingly enough. So if you haven't checked out that video, it went live at 2 PM today. You can go and check it out. Do you think you can get to next week without? Well, the deadline is tomorrow. So if Tony survives tonight, you can get him. You can get him out tomorrow. But I think he will definitely drop before game week 6. Great Gallagher to Corey. I think they're all good options. I'd personally go with the other two over Gallagher right now because of fixtures. Thank you, appreciated. No worries. Thoughts on Jimenez? I think he's the second best mid-price striker at the moment. If you rule out Antonio and DCL's injured, obviously. Antonio, I think after next week, will be top again for me. I think behind Bamford, Jimenez is the second best one. Would you go for White? Question 2. I'm on a wild card. Should I keep Antonio or sell him for Jimenez? I think it's probably worth selling him, to be honest. If you're on a wild card, I think it probably is. Benrahma got a rest? Yeah, he did. I didn't know he got subbed on, but yeah, I've been streaming, obviously, so I didn't notice. Go with Ronaldo and Lukaku, or just one and who? So hard to say. It's so hard to say with not much data on either of them, but even less on Ronaldo. What would I do if I was, say, on a wild card? I'd probably grab both. Not going to lie. Is Benrahma worth to keep this week or get Sarr? I'd get Sarr if you have a free transfer. Will Gray keep scoring FPL points? Well, his underlying stats don't suggest so, but, you know, he's looked very clinical and he's getting the chances. Captain Joshua's a differential? Not for me. Just go safe with Salah. Will Ings survive the night? It looks like it. But, you know, it's very, very tight. He obviously is projected to, if he keeps falling at that, then he might get it. But, yeah, obviously the accuracy can be slightly off. So I'd take my chances with Ings, personally. What game did you watch yesterday? I watched the Liverpool match. I went to the pub with some Liverpool fans, my mates, who are pretty much all Liverpool fans, whilst I'm a United fan, which is always lovely. Yeah, they were very happy. Currently on the wildcard and using FPL Fixture changed the price rises until the deadline. Currently made 0.2 spendable profit. Thank you and recommended. It's 2:45 AM. The alarm is on again tonight. Thank you very much, mate, and I appreciate the dedication staying up this late. Massive props to you, and yeah, good to see you enjoying the stream and making having some useful output from it. Cheers, mate. Have a good day. No worries, Colin. Captaining Trent, thoughts? Differential, but again, I know Liverpool players all have a great fixture this week, but when Salah's got a good fixture and he's at home, it's very hard to go against him, and so I would just say go with Salah. But yeah, I seem to have caught up on the chat, so there we go, got through it. Thank you, everyone, for all your questions. I'm really enjoying answering them. I'm having to speak and think very quickly. So, yeah, you're really putting me through my paces, but I'm enjoying every second of it. Thoughts on United's match? Do you support Ollie? I think he needs to work on his in-game management, is what I'd say. Is there a way having a team with CR7, Salah, Lukaku, and Trent? Yes, there are ways. It involves going with, quite some nice budget enablers. Maybe Gallagher and Gray, some cheaper midfielders perhaps, not going with as many mid-price players, but it's definitely doable. You can still get a decently balanced team. Triple captain Salah this game week. I've not really seen much talk about it at all. Obviously, always the safe thing to do is save your triple captainship for a double game week, but, it never ends up really being the double game weeks that end up paying that much, and obviously, it's very hard to do, but if your gut's saying it, honestly consider going with it. I would say that I don't think Salah's stats against Crystal Palace are fantastic, and if you believe in just statistics and bogey teams, etc., that's one thing to consider. Wasn't the we've answered that one? Sorry, Bamford and Ayling or Bamford and Rafinha? Bamford and Rafinha for me. Would you do Benrahma to Rafinha for a -4? Probably not. Bear in mind that that is basically an assist or a goal. And so, Rafinha, you've got one return, and then Benrahma will be back Benrahma will play this week. And so, I think, again, I will say it depends on how long you're planning on keeping Rafinha for. Long term, Rafinha's fixtures are much better. And if you've already used a wildcard, say, I think that's probably when it's worth it. If you're planning to wildcard the next 2 weeks, etc., maybe it's not. Does Christensen start, you reckon? I think he's just big rotation risk with Thiago Silva. Cresswell a good option? What would I say? I personally think there's much better at his price point. You know, Reece James, Shaw even. Part of me wants to be dangerous and put the armband on Jota this game week. Well, I'm definitely, you know, when it's differential captains come, Trent, Jota, you know, even Ronaldo this week's being considered a differential captain. This might be a week to go for them, but the vast majority will be playing safe and going with Salah. Are you holding on to Antonio or selling him? I'm benching him this week. Jimenez or Bamford? It's Bamford for me. Go with CR7 then, transfer him out, and Lukaku on game week 7. Seems to be the plan for a lot of people who want to just keep a structured team with only one striker in, one premium striker rather. But I'm not sure by the time we get to that game week, people are going to be looking at Ronaldo and saying, I can afford to get rid of this guy. I think they'll be desperately trying to refundle their team and get in both of them. Rudiger or James? It's Reece James for me. I think he's worth the risk of, you know, potentially not being completely nailed. Thanks for answering, says Laser. No problem at all. I'm answering every single comment, so yeah. And we're up to 58 likes, so yeah, massive props to everyone who's enjoying the stream and has dropped a thumbs up. I do appreciate it so much. Brownhill or Sissoko for 4.5 mil option? It's Sissoko for me. If I was on a wildcard, I'd be switching Brownhill out for Sissoko like that. Can you recommend a 4.5 defender? Marcel, if you can squeeze him in, 4.5. In terms of 4.5 defenders or below, right, we can go and have a look. We can use some Optastats to try and obviously look at this. I'm using the Optastats sandbox. We can filter by position. We can filter by price. Max price being 4.5. Let's have a look then. We'll filter by, I don't know, let's have a look at expected assists. Liveramento's top. It's really, really interesting. There aren't many options. I would consider Ben White. XG, again, not many viable options up there high. Ayling's there, of course. Leeds haven't looked brilliant defensively, and of course with Llorente out, Ayling might start at centre-back this week. So I wouldn't be too much of in a rush to bring in Ayling, but I still think he is a good long-term option. We did talk about earlier, Williams, Livramento, and Duffy. You could have Livramento and Williams and rotate both of them, and you get some pretty nice fixtures. So as far as rotating budget options is concerned, and you know, if you're going for someone cheap, maybe Williams and Livramento, bringing in one of them, and then you know you could even bring in another one another week and rotate the two of them. If you're at a wildcard, maybe consider both. Best 9 million midfielder, or just stay away? I would just stay away from that price point, to be honest. Will Bamford be playing this weekend? I'm pretty certain he will. It's tomorrow, in fact. How long will you be here? Probably around another 10 minutes maximum. But yeah, I'll try and answer every question that comes in. Wouldn't we be losing, selling and buying back Ronaldo after Lukaku's fixture run? You will lose a little bit of money, yeah, but people will just will bite the bullet, I suppose, in order to capitalise on those fixtures and those extra points, I guess. I've got both Sarr and Traore. Want us to be benched. Thoughts, please? I think if you're not going to start Sarr against Norwich, there's not really a game where you should start Sarr over Traore. So, you know, although Traore's got Brentford, it's so close to call. Who else? Can you not bench anyone else? That really does seem hard. Marcel or Cody? Marcel for me. Big respect for answering everyone, mate. Thank you, mate. I do appreciate that. And yeah, I do try my best. And I tend to be able to do it the vast majority of the time. Is there an outstanding 4.0 keeper option? Not really. You know, until potentially a goalkeeper gets injured, there won't really be one. Just go for the one who looks like he won't drop in price, really, I'd suggest. Yeah, I gather you meant losing team value. I took Grealish out for Rafinha. Good decision. That's a brave call with Southampton at home. Not sure I would have done it, but it could pay off. Sissoko's a CDM, whereas Brownhill's a CM. Doesn't Brownhill start more? Has more chances for contribution? I think Sissoko is really more of a box-to-box. And he's playing in a team who I think will score more goals. And I've looked at the stats. I did my analysis a few weeks ago. I still stand by the decision that Sissoko is a better 4.5 to go for on your wild card. Will you be streaming tomorrow? And if you do, which channel? I won't be on here tomorrow night. I don't think it will be me. Tomorrow night, it will probably be FPL Nacho. However, you know, I may end up on here. I will let you guys know over on Twitter and Discord. But ideally, I will be streaming tomorrow night after the Leeds game over on FPL Phillips. So if you're not subscribed to FPL Phillips already, go down in the description. the presenters tab, FPL Phillips, I think is the top one. Or just go down to all the channels and subscribe to all our brilliant presenters. But FPL Phillips is the top one. You can go down and subscribe. Turn on notifications as well if you don't want to miss that stream. We'll be live with FPL Raptor, hopefully in a collab, which will be very exciting just after the Leeds game. So yeah, you can join that and watch us revolt in Bamford's inevitable blank tomorrow after bringing him in. 4.5 defender other than Ayling? I'd probably say Ben White. Maybe Tomiyasu if he can continue to start for Arsenal. But yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's have a look at like creativity, etc. Big chances created. Hang on. Why are we not seeing this? Touches in the opposition box. That's an interesting stat. Wow. Surprise names up there. Cody's there with 3. You know, a lot of these will be centre backs from corners, etc. Williams has had 2. I mean, it's obviously not a lot, but still, again, I do like just the value picks. Brandon Williams and Livramento. Duffy Williams or Livramento. Again, with Livramento and Williams, I like the idea of having both of them. Please say something about Torres. Keep him if you have him. Don't risk it if you don't, would be my analysis. Ronaldo Lukaku Gray or Ronaldo Bamford Rafinha? Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. I'd probably, if I had the choice, go with the first trio. I'm not that confident in Leeds. But you know, I've gone with them with my algorithm 11. My team to take on the algorithm 11, rather. Newcastle starts getting clean sheets with fantastic fixtures ahead. Are there many good options there? Not really. If Lewis was a starter, he'd be my favourite out of the defensive options. Let's have a look at Newcastle. I mean, St. Maximan's obviously the standout, and I would assume everyone would know that, really. Let's have a look. If we just go and have a look. You know, Wilson's injured. St. Maximan, same amount of touches in the opposition box as Wilson. Goal threat. Total shots, St. Maximan with 6. You know, Murphy's there in 5, to be honest. We mentioned him before. He's not too bad an option. Yeah, my best Newcastle option is St. Maximan. Can you show a comparison of Decore and Grey heat maps? Yes, I did do that on my own channel, but I will do it for you here as well. Lukaku or Ronaldo? So you won't be doing a deadline stream? Well, it'll be more of an early deadline stream well, I think we'll do it after the Leeds game. But yeah, obviously the deadline is early tomorrow, but I won't be doing 2 streams, so to speak, no. I think, you know, a lot of people will be streaming then. Let's talk FPL, FPL Mate, etc. You know, a lot of great YouTubers will be streaming then. I don't think going up against them and rivaling them in terms of viewers, etc. or whatever. I don't really care too much about how many viewers I have in my streams, but you know, I more care about the quality of the people in. But yeah, I don't think it's too bad. I think it's almost quite cool if you can have a deadline stream on another channel, and I'll be streaming afterwards if you want to join both. Rudiger or Brandon Williams, whom should I start this week? I would probably start Rudiger. Chelsea just look very good defensively, despite Brandon Williams having a better fixture. High DCL to Bamford with -4. I have Brownhill on the bench. Is it good or bad? So Brownhill would have to start. I'd take the -4 to take out DCL. Yes, I would, Malik. Any good replacement for Benrahma or just keep him? I think it depends. If you're taking a hit, consider not doing it. If you've got a free transfer and you want to do it and you can't afford to bench him, I like Rafinha or Sarr, depending on what you can afford. But yeah, 98 viewers still. It's absolutely fantastic. And we're up to 62 likes. Thank you very much. I'm hoping one day we will be able to hit the 100 like target live on stream. We've done it a few times over on FPL Phillips, so I'm sure the fantasy football fix community is just as strong. I'm sure if you're there, 103 people watching, I'm almost certain that 40 or 38 of you, bad maths from me, haven't liked the stream. And if you did, we'd hit the 100 like target right now. Right now. That would be incredible. Imagine we just see those likes fly up. Let's see how brilliant you guys really are. I mean, I know how brilliant you are, but I imagine this is a chance to bloody prove it. $66 already? Wow. Incredible, guys. Thank you very much. We've got 4 minutes to go, so time is limited. Will Son play game week 5? I'm pretty sure he won't. If you don't got rid of Son already, I would recommend doing so. We're up to 70 already. You guys are incredible. Can we keep it going? Can we keep it going? Everyone playing their part. It's great to see how interactive you guys are, and it does really help out the channel. So massive props to all you guys. Really do appreciate it. Richarlison, Ronaldo, Jesus, good to go. Wow, it's a brave front line with 2 differentials. You know, I'm not got any bearing resentment or problems with any of them. Go for Gray. I do like him. He is outperforming his stats, so do bear that in mind. On a wildcard, you just said you would get rid of Antonio and bring in Jimenez. Does Jimenez have good expected data? Well, we can go have a look at Jimenez's expected data. And in fact, let's go ahead and compare Jimenez and Bamford, because that's something that I'm sure quite a few people might be interested in. Select player. I love how just easy this is. Leeds, Bamford. So if we look here, expected goals, 0.21. So not brilliant stats per 90 for Jimenez. Patrick Bamford's a bit better at 0.31. Shots, Jimenez leads the way. Shots on target. Bamford's been much more clinical. We did cover this yesterday. His expected assists is much better than Bamford, though. So, yeah. Everyone get those seconds accounts out. Jack, I think you're the only one who has the immense dedication to do that. Sartori's in game week 6. Could be the way. Has Ram still taking #1 spot now? He's not made. Arteta said he hasn't made a decision on it, I think was the quote. So we'll see this week, I suppose. Good to have you, mate. Please mention deadline stream time. The time will be around whenever the Leeds game ends, 9:30, 9:45, around then. So it'll be a late one, unfortunately, for those of you across the globe. Thoughts on Pogba? I mean, if he keeps it up, maybe he'll one day develop into a viable FPL option with, Bruno Ronaldo. There's big chances for assists, but I'm not sold he can continue doing it that much. Ramsdale or Sanchez for my wildcard. If you want to take a risk, go with Ramsdale, but Sanchez is the safe pick. Consider upgrading to Sar, I would, Dunjay. So game week 5, just not playing. Is Gallagher close to price rise? No, he recently rose to 5.6, so no danger of that before the deadline at least. What would you do with the Wilson, DCL and Antonio? I would DCL out first, Wilson as well if you can, and bench Antonio. Barometer Gray or Sar? I prefer Sar, especially this week. We're up to 79 likes, 21 away from that 100 mark. We've got a minute left of the stream. I'm not convinced we're going to hit it, but can you guys prove us wrong? I'm not sold. That would be absolutely incredible. But yeah, I appreciate the support anyway. It's been absolutely incredible, and yeah, I'm sorry about all the plugging, but it's great to see how much you guys hopefully appreciate the content that we're providing you. Is Cancelo an option? He is. I would be a little bit concerned about game time after playing 90 minutes yesterday. But, if he starts at the weekend, that's another promising sign. But, Walker is there breathing on his neck. But yeah, that is going to wrap up the stream for today, really, guys. Thank you once again for all the support on the videos. Last few questions coming in now. I will give them an answer. Thoughts on Christensen? Just too much of a rotation risk with Thiago Silva for me. But yeah. Unfortunately, I have both Smith Rowe and Tanganga in my team. Who would be the better person to transfer out and who for? If you can do Tanganga to Marçal, I would do that first. Smith Rowe to Gray would probably be my other one, or Decore or Gallagher. But it would be good to see another week data on that, so I'd probably do Tanganga to Marçal if you can do it. So thank you to everyone who's tuned into the stream. We do massively appreciate it. Every single one of you watching right now. Yeah, appreciated your answers. I've smashed a like. Thank you very much, Freemo, and thank you to everyone who likewise has dropped a like on the stream. It is once again hugely appreciated. You're probably sick of me right now, just want me to shut up, but yeah, I'll be leaving you. I hope you have a great evening, and I wish you the best of luck for game week 5. If I don't speak to you all before then, which I may not, of course you can go ahead and catch my stream tomorrow night, which may be a late one, over on the FPL Phillips YouTube channel. As always, the link to that channel is down in the description under the tab presenters, the first one I think, so you can just give that a click. Go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and once again, thank you very much for tuning in. Stay safe. Goodbye.